Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Jedi Knights Watch. Today we're going to be doing another Hot Toys video review, and this one is on Captain America Endgame MMS 536. I am so excited to finally have this figure in my collection. He has been on pre-order for such a long time for a lot of people. I know the original release date for this guy was October to December of 2020. We're now in April, and people are still waiting for this guy to get to their houses. Well, guys, be patient. This figure is worth it. You're not going to be let down. I was close to buying the concept art Captain America before locking in this guy, and I thought that body was the most realistic to Chris Evans and Captain America. I thought the black looked cool, but in the end, I really wanted that traditional red, white, and blue cap, plus the extra head sculpt and accessories this comes with are awesome. If you guys are Marvel fans out there, hit that like button below and subscribe to our channel, as Rob and I have a ton of fun. We'd love to talk to you guys in the comments. We'd love to hear from you and be a part of the watch. Let's get going with this review. Let's start with the art box. I love the way they've done these Endgame art boxes. We have the space gas and debris with the colors of the character integrated here on the box, and then we have the big Avengers A on the front and kind of worked into the portrait of the figure. I think it looks really cool. On the back of the box, we obviously have all the warnings and creators. This is a slip over cover, just like the other Endgame figures. And then when we take that off, we review a window display type box. First impressions of the figure kind of here in the plastic is, wow, he looks awesome. I can't wait to get a better look at him. I can't wait to pose him, can't wait to talk about him. But he looks great. I think he's going to be well worth the price tag here. Let's get him out of the box, and let's start with the base that he comes with. The base that he comes with is a hexagon shape with a traditional crotch grabber stand. I do think that they should have put a dynamic stand with this guy. Our Star-Lord previously had a dynamic stand. You know, why not give Captain America one as well? He's jumping really high. He's got all these moves. He's running around. I think it would have really just made the experience of posing him that much better. But I do really like the size and shape of this base, and I love the graphic and the color design on this one. The base has somewhat of a rough texture to it, and then that A is a bit glossy and smooth. I also like how the Captain America print is on the front of the base, as it looks simple and not quite as distracting. Some of those metal nameplates or other designs that they come up with, to me, seem just a little bit over the top, maybe too gaudy. Again, I'm probably in the minority with this, but just my feel here, I like the simple look to it. And then finally on the top of the base here, we do have the Captain America shield and the Avengers Endgame logo. And for any collector that does use the base to display their figure, I think you're going to be really happy with this. Here we have all the accessories that our Captain America from Endgame comes with. Let's just go through them really quickly. We have his shield. We have his broken shield. We have an extra head sculpt. The plastic piece that you can hang his shield on the back. We have 5 extra sets of hands. Right now he currently has his tight-fisted hands on. We have a compass with Peggy Carter's photo in there. Mjolnir, I think I'm saying that right, that's Thor's hammer. And then an empty mask here, along with 2 face plates with different facial expressions. Let's take a closer look at each individual accessory here. Starting with Captain America's shield, this looks really cool. It's a plastic piece. I know a lot of people are upset that Thor's hammer and the shield are plastic, but you guys got to remember that if we're going to make these die cast, they're going to weigh a lot more, and that's going to just weigh down the figure more. It's going to put more pressure on the joints and loosen them up over time. And this is the way to go, even though, you know, it may seem lightweight and cheap. I think it looks like metal. The paint application is awesome. You got all of this wear and tear here that gives it that extra characteristic. And it really makes this figure look more like a battle damaged figure. And I'm all for that. But yeah, you can see it's almost like rust marks here and just damage to the shield. Looks awesome. If we flip it over, we see we have the straps to put on our Captain America. They look really nice. And then we do have the broken shield as well, and the nice thing about this is that they changed the orientation here so that it's actually on the right way when we put it on the figure. So prior versions of Captain America had the arm going in this way, and now it's going to go in this way. So it'll look like this when it's on the figure. And then it even comes with 2 pieces broken off, and you can't do much with these other than maybe display them in front of the figure, but it's just a really cool effect. Here we have a simple black plastic piece that just goes on the back of Captain America. It hooks on, and then once we take these clips off, this will just insert right to where the clips go, and it'll hang on the back. So very pivotal piece right here. Don't throw this away. Here we have Thor's hammer, and again, this is way more lightweight than I thought it would be, but again, it's plastic, so there's not much to it. Really great detail here. Look at all this pitting we have, making it look like a real metal. On top here we have some inscriptions. Really good detail on the ends here, and just it looks like the real deal here. This is so awesome. Such a clean paint application on the handle, and then we even have the pleather type strap. This is one of the accessories that made me hold out for this Endgame cap, as well as the broken shield. So, you know, I was thinking about getting the concept art captain, but for these things alone, I had to get this one. Also, the other reason is this head sculpt. This is spot on to Chris Evans, and it looks totally different than what the prototype did. They really worked on it. You know, they delayed Captain America coming out for some time, and you know, I'm okay with it when they're doing stuff like this, because at almost all angles this looks like Chris Evans. The nose might be a tad too pointy, too long, but outside of that, you know, here even looks like him, especially here on some angles. That's awesome. The hair looks great. It's got that kind of bronze golden color. But even on the skin itself, there's like, the paint application is outstanding. You have like freckles and different marks here, and then even in the cheekbones, just how well they got this sculpt. And you know, forehead wrinkles. The detail here is amazing, and it blows me away. It's tough because I want to display him with his full costume on, but it's almost a shame to not use this head sculpt. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Would you rather display your Captain America with the masked version or this one? And then along with that, we have the empty mask here. This does not fit on the head sculpt. This is more of just a prop. Lots of paint chips and scrapes and kind of like a dirty look to it. You know, there's like browning in the blue here. Just really cool. Here it's darker as well. And this is a hard plastic. This has some give to it, but the rest is pretty solid. Here we have the compass with Peggy Carter's photo inside, and this does close. There you go. And just really cool too. It's amazing how, you know, they can get a picture that clear when it's that small. Just the fact that I can see that that's her and make it out, that's really cool. Then we have 2 different face plates that have different facial expressions here. Again, really good job on the paint application. And I'm okay with these expressions. They don't look goofy or silly, or, you know, I hate to say it, but like that Batman Begins facial expression, you all know what I'm talking about. These are also magnetic, so they slide in and then that magnet just holds them in place. So we will be putting probably a couple of these on just for some poses here. So really nice paint application here, really good detail in the leather. It's brown and black. Alright, so now that we've gone through the base and the accessories, let's take a look at the figure and get our first impressions. This figure looks like Captain America. In the traps, in the arms, in the neck, he finally looks proportionate. The only other figure that even came close was that concept art Captain America. Let's start with the upper part of the body. The paint app is movie accurate. We have that gloomy, desaturated blue color, and the head sculpt is a brand new mold actually, so they started fresh with this guy. They're not retreading all the past Chris Evans molds, so that's really nice. On the helmet you can see just a lot of wear and tear with scratches and paint chips and dirt and grime. Really great detail, and I love how this figure isn't quite pristine. He looks like he's been through battle, and you know, he's been through the grind a little bit. And then even on the chest, we can see some silver kind of poking through where the paint is gone. You know, more kind of battle damage going on there. I do like that. We got the brown straps going on the traps here with the fake buckles. They actually changed the buckles, made them a bit bigger from previous versions. If you've seen those other ones, they don't look right. So I'm glad that they fixed that. It's a simple, small fix, but it really helps the figure. And then we do have the shoulder protectors there with the Avengers A on it, and that's got a really nice texture to it as well. And then obviously on the chest, you do have that silver star that just stands out and screams Captain America. Going down to the midsection of the figure, we have the abdomen area that has, on the red and white here, we have weathering, as it looks like it was given like a dirt wash, or, you know, they rubbed some sort of dirt on it to make it look, again, more worn, more battle damaged. Very nice looking belt here. It's going to be a rubber belt with like fabric over the top and then plastic pouches and a plastic belt buckle. That belt buckle looks metal, but it is plastic, so a really good paint application there as well. The way they created the suit, it looks like we should have good articulation. I'm hoping so. There's like a break in the material in the elbows where it's just the fabric to help bend the arms and give you that better articulation. The material itself is, for the most part, it's really thick and stiff, and it's almost like a vinyl maybe. Kind of reminds me of like a sports duffel bag. I don't know. It's the best way I can describe it. Just the feel of it. It's really nice texture, but just the feel of it, that's kind of what it reminds me of. We do have a split cut boot design here on the boot, which is going to be nice for articulation. I do worry about the front of that split cut being so far forward that we're not going to be able to bend that foot as much as we want. The boots are really well done. They're going to be the same as previous versions. However, I do wish there was more dirt and weathering on those boots just to make them look a little bit more worn. Quickly taking a look at articulation of the figure. We do have a ball joint in the head, and then the neck is separate, and then there's going to be another ball joint in the neck. So actually the neck has some movement, and then we also have movement here in the head itself. Arms go to about here, but then it starts to get pretty tight in the armpit. Forward to about there, and a double bend in the elbow. There also is a swivel in the bicep. A little bit of movement here in the abdomen, as well as some crunch. There's not much articulation in the legs at all. But there is a double bend in the knee, and we do have that split cut boot, so we have a bunch of play there, which is going to make it great for posing this guy. But overall, first impressions of this figure, I am super excited. He looks awesome. He is going to go with Iron Man and Thor in my display case. And I finally have the Trinity. Let's take a look at some more poses and talk about some of the things that we like and dislike about the figure. Alright guys, so now that we've gone through the accessories this guy comes with, we've gotten some first impressions about how the figure looks, and we've shown you some really cool poses, let's talk about some of the things that we like about the figure and some things that they could have done better. Starting with the likes, I really like the body proportions to this figure. They've gotten it right. Before this figure, we had the concept art, which was awesome. I don't know if he's better, but he definitely is even with that one. That one might have the edge still on the body proportions, but this one is a heck of a lot better. The neck's not as long. He actually has traps. The shoulders aren't as broad. The arms look just right. So they did a really good job here. Second thing that I really like about the figure is that they included an extra shield. They didn't have to do that. You know, they could have just given you the Captain America shield, but they gave you that broken apart one. And they fixed the articulation of the straps to make it actually movie accurate. And they even gave you the broken pieces so you can display that next to the figure. That's awesome. Thank you, Hot Toys. And finally, the last thing that I really love about the figure is that second head sculpt of Chris Evans. It's night and day compared to that prototype that they showed originally. Might be some of the reason why this guy was delayed a little bit. You know, they worked on that head sculpt. I think they did a super job. The paint application is outstanding, and it looks like Chris Evans in most, if not all, angles. Now, talking about some of the things that I dislike about the figure, I think a dynamic stand would have been an easy way to put this figure over the top. Second thing that I dislike about the figure, and it's not by any means a deal breaker, but the articulation isn't as good as I thought it would be, especially in the lower section of the figure. The suit definitely restricts the movement on the legs and how much they can bend, not so much in the knees or the elbows of the figure, but just moving the arms forward and to the side as well as the legs. Not as much articulation as I would have liked. Also, the split cut boot design is great, but it is a little tricky to get them to stand without the base, just because the front of that split cut boot is so far out that you can't really angle the feet how you want them at some points, if that makes sense. Outside of that, there is nothing else that I dislike about the figure. He looks awesome. He looks spot on. I am so excited to have him here. Hopefully you guys like this review. Hopefully you guys get this guy in your collection sooner rather than later. Be patient. He's worth it. Let me know in the comments what Captain America is your favorite Hot Toys figure. I'd love to talk to you guys about it. Again, this is my first figure, but I have definitely researched the other ones. Almost bought a couple different ones in the past, but I held out for this guy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.